Hello, good evening. It's Naeem. Day 2 of the 12 Days of Content Sharing Challenge. Something we do every year and have done for the last few years on the theme of 12 Days of Christmas, sharing a different piece of knowledge or content or experience with you. Today's day 2, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about customer journey, moving customers along that journey, but not so much about what is a customer journey, but the fundamental reasoning or thinking behind this is that we're moving customers along a path from maybe becoming aware of your product to buying your product and then becoming a repeat customer. And if I show you the next screen, for me, it's all about this point in that journey. And if I look at that customer, what that customer is doing is that customer is trusting me to deliver what I've promised to deliver to them. She's looking at me and saying, I've seen your brand, you've given me your sales pitch, I've experienced your service, and what I'm now doing is I'm giving you my money, and I'm trusting you, for instance, to deliver my birthday party, or I'm trusting you to deliver my kitchen, or I'm trusting you to manage some other service which is really important to me. So it's not just about handing money over to someone, it's about what people are doing is they're going to be trusting you to deliver on what you promised. And trust is a massive thing. We've seen a lot of changes in how people trust us and don't trust us over the last 12 months with lockdown 1 and lockdown 2. People have come to businesses and are trusting them in a way they've never trusted them before. They're paying online, they're seeing pictures of product, they're trusting you to deliver a service that they can't necessarily touch or feel, but they're trusting you because of your marketing, your advertising, your branding, the service you've offered. All those things have led them to this moment when they're going to trust you with delivering on that brand promise. And I'd say trust is a massive thing. And if you think about trust with your customers, how can you build up your trust? What can you do to build up your trust? And what can you do to win over that important point when they give you their trust and trust you to deliver a product? And how then do you retain your trust of those customers? Yesterday we talked about retained customers. So it's not just about making that initial sale, it's about making those multiple sales with that customer. It's not just about that one time they gave you £100. It's about the 12 times they're going to give you £100 over the next month, over the next year, over the next 3 years, over the next 5 years. And keeping that trust is really important. We did an activity with a restaurant business, a hotel and restaurant business, and we talked about how much customers trusted the business through different levels of engagement and over periods of time. And on the left hand side, is a trust level. We ask for people's, we ask people for their trust level, how trusting they felt of the client. Along the bottom, we perform certain activities, and as you can see, right at the start, when we did some maybe some marketing, some initial contact, the trust level is very low because they said we don't really know you. We only know you through a computer screen, or we only know you through a magazine article or something really low like that, or maybe someone's told us about you. And we want to get to this point where we can overcome those initial levels of trust to a point where the customers say, right, do you know what? We trust you enough to be able to try you. And that's what this point represented over here. And, there were staggers, there were key points that we achieved in order to get people up to these certain levels. I'm going to try you. That's the second trust barrier we've got to break with them. And the third trust barrier is when they've tried us and they've used us a few times to get to the point whereby we said, do you know what? I completely trust you. I've bought off you once and I trust you enough that I'm going to buy off you repeatedly. And I'm also going to tell my family and friends about you. And the great thing about this point is, even if you make a mistake, because we're all humans, we can make mistakes. Even if you make a mistake, the trust level is very high. And therefore, for that reason, if you make a mistake, they're willing to accept that you've made a mistake and they're willing to try you again. So for 2021, when you're working on something over the next few weeks with your thinking about what kind of strategies you're going to put into place or what things are important for you, think about trust. Put it as a measure or as a metric that you're going to try and chase with your customers. Think about how you can build that trust up with your customers. Think about what you can do to gain that initial levels of trust, when they may say we don't know you, to that level where you can say, do you know what, we're going to try you. And think about, once they've bought a few once, think about what you can do to get them to completely trust you and repeat buy from you, and accept that you can make a mistake and then trust you even more. This is a 12 days of content sharing challenge. Every day for 12 days at about this time every evening, I will be sharing a piece of knowledge or content. Get involved if you want. It can be any type of content that you want to do. It can be video, it can be written, it can be memes, it can be anything. But importantly, the challenge is, can you do it for 12 consecutive days? Use the hashtag 12DOC. And remember, it's all about trying to create those piece of content so you get into the habit of regularly using digital platforms, and also get your audience into the habit of regularly consuming your content. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I will be back tomorrow about the same sort of time, and I look forward to seeing you then.